So today, boys and girls, we're going to read a story here, and the story is How Full is Your Bucket? I'm so glad you're here to visit with us and to listen to the story, and here we go. So this is How Full is Your Bucket? You can see him, there's the bucket there, and there's a little boy, and he's got his dog. So here we go. How full is your bucket? So, Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower. See the tower? When his little sister came in, "I want to build this with you," she said. Felix scowled. "Go away, you're too little." That never happens at your house, I hope. "Stay back, you'll knock it over." "But I'm big. I can be very careful." "Go play with your baby toys, Anna," said her brother. And she got really kind of miffed, and she knocked down the blocks, and what chaos. My goodness. "Grandpa! Grandpa," she called, and he called, and Grandpa shook his head. "Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket," he said. "Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad, but when it's full, she feels great." "Didn't you ever notice your own bucket?" Grandpa said. Invisible bucket? Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking or not. Thinking about that. But the next morning when Felix woke up, there was a small gray bucket floating above his head. See the bucket right there? Wow. What's that doing there? When Felix came down to have breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. "I got a meeting this morning, and it's almost time to go." "Anna, sit still," she said. Anna's getting getting her hair combed, and Mom is rushing, and there's Felix trying to get his cereal. Felix slipped, and cocoa wheats scattered across the floor. What a mess. "Felix," yelled his mom, "you should have used the stool to reach that." You see the bucket has a little water in it? Felix could feel his bucket dip, and a big invisible drop spilled out. Drip, drip. "Ha ha," Anna laughed when she crunched the cereal with her shoe. "Drip. Get the broom and clean up before you miss the bus," scolded Felix's mom. When the school bus started honking, Felix quickly swept up the cocoa wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could even take one bite, Buster's his dog, jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Another drip fell. "Hey, look at Felix's new backpack. My baby brother has one just like it." I think they were making fun of Felix. Drip, another drip fell. "Psst, Felix, psst." They start talking. He felt the drips falling out of his bucket. "Watch out, shrimp." Somebody was teasing him in the hallway at school. Do you ever get teased? It's not fun. It was still morning, and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. He lost all that water from all the teasing and problems he'd been through. As he watched the classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else to happen. Mrs. Bumblenickel, that's a funny name, walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. "Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class?" she said. Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. Drop. See the water dropping in the bucket? Drop, drop, drop. More drops in the bucket. "The Gignosaurus Who Wanted a Pet by Me, Felix." That was the name of his story that he was reading. The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at the scary parts. When Felix finally read the end, everybody clapped, and even Emily, who sat next to him and didn't usually like dinosaurs, liked it. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all, he thought. Drop, drop, drop. Team captains are Veronica and Felix. More drops in his buckets. Nice cow. It's a dog. Well, nice colors there, Felix. Cool laser and backpack, Felix. More drops in his bucket. All the good things were happening, were filling his bucket up. After school, Felix's bucket was nearly full. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone else had a bucket too. Drop, drop, drop. Let me help you. Drop, drop, drop. Here's your baseball catch. Thanks, dude. Drop, drop. Drop, drop. Hi, I'm Felix. First day? Yeah, I'm Amir. Drop, drop. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own bucket. So helping others can make you feel good too. When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You are right, Grandpa. I do have a bucket, and I understood how it works." Then he saw Anna's torn doll. "Bad dog," he almost scolded. But then he thought, dogs might have invisible buckets too. "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her." "Until then, do you want to help me build the tallest building in the world with my blocks?" he said. And so they did. And they filled both their buckets up. Isn't that a great story? Called How Full is Your Bucket? Hopefully your buckets are really full too. Have a wonderful day, and we'll read another story next week. Bye now.